It might be a little soon, but maybe you've begun thinking about new things you would like to try next year. And maybe one of those things is a creative pursuit or creative practice, but maybe you're not quite sure how to get started. I'm going to describe a specific approach to getting a creative practice started, based on things I've learned from my experience with my creative pursuits to help you with yours. First, whatever you want to make or do, find the small version. By small version, I mean if you want to paint oil paintings, start with small index-sized card drawings. If you want to write songs, start by writing little verse-chorus vignettes. If you want to write fiction, start with short stories or even just character sketches. Find the small version. Second, aim for quantity, not quality. Instead of devoting 3 to 4 hours one day a week to your creative practice, try 25 to 30 minutes every day. And with each session, try to complete a small version of your work. If you over-prioritize quality at this stage, you're going to severely limit what your work can become and grow into, and your decisions will be guided by fear of not meeting those expectations. And all of that will make the process more agonizing than it needs to be. Third, promise yourself you won't evaluate or judge your work until you have dozens of iterations. Literally, at least 2 or 3 dozen. We can be our own worst critics. At the same time, it's also normal to want to see evidence of progress so that you don't feel like you're wasting your time on this. Resist both of those urges as much as possible. I suggest putting away your work as soon as you're done with it. If you feel like you did a good job, don't admire it. If you feel like you did a poor job, don't beat yourself up. When it does come time to evaluate, start by trying to see what all of the works, all of the iterations that you made, try to see what they all have in common. Don't compare them to another artist's work. Don't try to figure out what they're worth or what their value is. Just look for themes and patterns that run consistently throughout the body of work that you've made. Being able to see this is the beginning of you discovering your individual voice or touch as an artist. I think getting to this point is really important because instead of just shopping for a look or a style that you then work to imitate, you're letting something really genuine about your individuality emerge. And I believe that will make for a more fulfilling and sustainable creative practice. So if any of you try this approach, I would love to hear how it goes for you. I would love to hear what works, what leaves you sort of scratching your head, unsure about all this. You can get at me in the comments or send me a DM on Instagram or a message via my website, but I would love to hear how this approach helps you get started with a creative practice, or just your experiences in the past trying to get started with a new creative pursuit. I'd really love to hear about all that. I'm really curious to hear how the creative process and creativity shows up in other people's lives. So get at me, let's chat. If I can, I'd love to help you get your creative practice started. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Happy painting or whatever creative thing you do.